Happy holidays, everyone. I'm Leah from leahgriffith.com. If you follow me at all, you know that we love to make crepe paper flowers, and people will often ask, what do we do with them when we're done? I see crepe paper flowers as a perfect gift, and you can use this all year round. But specifically today, I want to talk about winter flowers for holiday gifting. And I'm going to show you how to make this quick 15-minute mini wreath that you can put on any gift, and I just love the way that they sit on bottles. Before we get started with that project, I want to show you a few other things that you can make as Christmas gifts. And all of these projects, we have templates and tutorials and even some videos to teach you exactly how to make them. I know they look really beautiful, but I promise you, these can be made by a beginner. And we're there with you every step of the way. This is probably one of the simplest projects, which is a poinsettia plant that you can make from crepe paper. We have crepe paper snowdrops. Anything that's potted is a great gift. And of course, this little mini Christmas tree. Who wouldn't love that? This is a gorgeous, very detailed amaryllis bulb that you can use year after year. And one of my favorites are these cloche gold amaryllis, and I actually keep these out all year round. Of course, this is just a few ideas that we have on our site, and you can find more at leahgriffith.com. The great thing about making these mini wreaths is there's so many varieties that you can create, and you can see some versions that I did here. I used felt balls with some little mini bells and some crepe paper sprigs. Here I used a crepe paper mistletoe and added some ribbon. On this wreath, I added copper and gold leaves with a bit of gold berry, and I just love the way that it looks on this bottle. In this mini workshop, I'm going to show you exactly how I made this wreath, which is the first in a 6-part series where I share all of my paper flower arranging tips. So let's get started. One thing that is so fun about making these mini wreaths is you can forage through some things that you've already made. For me, I never throw anything away. I have a little box full of all these bits and pieces so that I can make fun projects like this. I've picked out one anemone. I have 2 holly leaves. This is a branch of evergreen made out of crepe paper, and then I have these clusters of berries. I'll also need my hot glue gun, wire cutters, and I have some extra glue here. So to start this wreath, I will begin with the largest piece that I'll be gluing on, and also the piece that will be the most in the background, which is this little branch here. I'm going to slide it through. This is the beautiful thing about using these grapevine mini wreaths, is that you can use the structure of the wreath to actually hold a lot of the flowers. So I'm going to slide it through and then take and bend it to follow along the wreath, so that it has some sort of flow. If you wanted to, you can even bend one piece back the other way. I think that looks really pretty. Actually, I like that even better. And since the wire is held really tightly inside of the grapevine, I don't really need to glue it at this point. However, these other bits I will. So my holly leaves, I'm going to use one side with the lighter green and this side with the darker green. And you'll notice I only have 2, which if you follow me at all, you know I work in 3s. But what I'm seeing is that this is 1 and then we have 2. So it actually adds this element of 3. It's always fun to break the rules. Since this wire is so soft, I'll go ahead and clip it off at the base. And I want to tuck it kind of inside between some of these branches, so it has a nice flow and it doesn't look like it's just sitting on top. And for this, I will want to add some hot glue. The second leaf, I'll do the same thing. Clip off the extra wire. And since I'll be using the lighter side, I'll make sure and keep that towards the top. And I'll show you what I'm thinking here as I'm working on this wreath. You'll see that this is sort of my center point, and then everything flows out and around the wreath. I did something similar with this wreath here. Again, this has a similar feel where there's a center and then the leaves go in each direction. But this one, it's a bit different where I just have it flowing down one side. So there are many options. Now it's time to place the flower, and I do want to get that as snug as possible. So I'll go ahead and clip off the wire as close to the base of the flower as possible. I know I want it right there in the center, so I'll add quite a bit of glue and just place it exactly where I want it to sit. And it just takes a few minutes to cool. Now I have all these extra berries and I'm not sure how I'm going to use them, but I noticed that 3 of them are smaller and I want some variety. I'll go ahead and take these apart. These were pulled off of another project. You can use any type of berries. I do like using the paper spun berries because it has the element of paper all the way through this piece. So I'm going to put together 2 large and 1 small. Give that a nice twist on the base. Make sure all of them are secure. And I'm going to slide that right behind my flower. So it tucks underneath the flower petals but peeks out on the other side. I'll do the same here. I have 2 large and 1 small, just for the variety. And for this one, I want it to come a bit out on the other side of the greenery. Add some glue on the base, and then I'll just tuck that right underneath those petals. And at this point, I don't think I need any more berries. I could, however, add some more maybe on this side if I wanted to, but I don't think I need to. So this is actually complete. Let's see how it fits on the bottle. I have my bottle of olive oil here. This is a great gift, and I just slide it on. For this little cutie, I wanted to add a bit more. I feel like this wreath has more of a childlike charm to it. So I found these little jingle bells and thought I might want to add these into the wreath. You can see how I have my berries clustered in the middle, and I'm just adding the jingle bells kind of around the berries. Maybe 2 clustered on one side and then 1 on the other side. And for this, you could add a bow, you could add extra leaves, but I do like the simplicity of this little mini wreath. If you enjoyed this quick arrangement workshop and would like to see more, we have a whole series over on leahgriffith.com, so click the link below. On our site, we have hundreds of Christmas projects and a lot of last-minute gift ideas. And you can find all of the tools and materials that I use in this video over at feltpaperscissors.com. Happy crafting and happy holidays.